Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for education and technology. Today, I'd like to share with you something really critical. In fact, it is extremely critical. And that is to know what is the reality, what is the facts. This is year 2020. This is the time where human progress very fast. So we need to know what is the reality in order to progress. Since last week, when somebody who was stunned tried to silence me in a social media, until this week, I have received many inappropriate comments that give me the idea of to open this once for all and share with everyone so we all know. See, others try to silence me. It is like those so-called lineage politics. Try to blow it up, ridicule, and then just try to promote one's lineage and those kind of stuff. You can see it on and on in the past few decades. Well, this time, sorry, it will not work. Why? Because I am not the guy. Because what these people face is this ancient Chinese classics and Western study and today's Chinese studies in traditional Chinese martial arts. How many experts is here? Just this book. I didn't bring my whole library to show you yet. So, those type of attempt will not work. Because I'm not a lineage. I'm like in the university. I show you what it is, okay? It's not my way. It is what exists. That's how it is. It is scientific, it is multi-data point. Range from different era. So, this cannot be put down or ridiculed. Because what one face is history. Multiple data point worldwide. So, that is the reality. Now, let's start on something which is, I like to share this thing here because we all need to know, okay? Because Wing Chun today is a worldwide martial art. It belongs to everybody. Different nation, different races. So we need to know this. We need to know this. So I get a comment like this. Stop spreading kungfu on YouTube to foreigners. Stop spreading kungfu on YouTube to foreigners. This is YouTube. I live in America. I'm American. So who is foreigner? Do I share it to our fellow Americans is that spread kung fu on YouTube to foreigners? Not to mention, this is Dr. Sun Yat-sen, the father of modern China, the first president who overthrew Qing dynasty. Guess what? He's an American. Okay? Don Bruce Lee is an American. So who is a foreigner? Well, we need to be careful. We keep saying that Wing Chun is from Shaolin. Do we know what is Shaolin's teaching? In my book, Beginning Wing Chun, I translate here the Shaolin teaching. Now I can freeze the screen, okay? And I can read for you. Following the teaching of the Buddha, one must practice compassion towards every living being. Even if one has accomplished advanced skill, one must use the skill for self-defense only. One must avoid fighting or testing one's skill to prove who is the best fighter or number one. Violations of this is taken as breaking the country's law. So the Shaolin martial art is saying that one must practice compassionate towards every living being. That is no foreigner. Because you are a living being, I am a living being. That's the bottom line of the teaching of the Shaolin, the Chinese Shaolin kungfu. So we need to get this straight. Okay? We cannot just because we like or we not like, we attack people or we say something like that. This is not according to the Shaolin ancestor, isn't it? Okay? Not to mention, is Bruce Lee American? Without Bruce Lee, will Wing Chun be known in the world? Just think about it. And another thing too. Today we claim that somebody claimed that there are 6 million Wing Chuners in the world. So who is foreigner? This 6 million is from all over the world. Who is foreigner? So we need to be careful on this kind of thing. Okay, this kind of thinking is just going sidetracked already. So if I use this kind of thinking, if we use this kind of thinking, does that mean that the certain Wing Chuner is a first class Wing Chuner and second class Wing Chuner and third class Wing Chuner, so forth? All this caste system? First of all, in Shaolin teaching, that's not the case what the ancestors do. The second is, this is 2020. The third is, without Bruce Lee, do you think Wing Chun will be known all around the world? So get serious, okay? The second thing, this person said, Wing Chun had never been for the mass. Well, I'm not the guy who spread Wing Chun to the 6 million people. In fact, if you watch my number here, under here in the videos, subscriber is not more than 3,000 people. How many percent is between the 3,000 and 6 million people? So okay, you say you don't have 6 million, how about just 1/3 of it, 2 million people? So 3,000 and 2 million. How many percent is that? So don't tell me this. Tell those guys who spread Wing Chun to the world for past 60 years. Okay? Don't tell me this thing. Tell all those people who passed Wing Chun to the entire world for the past 60 years or so. Why did they teaching foreigner? You see, when somebody might be get nervous of what I'm sharing here and then start to pull this tongue. And as I always say again and again, this channel is for education and technology. We treat every race, every nation equal. We want every Wing Chuner to be good, to be better, to keeping progress. That's the idea of school, like a university. We don't discriminate saying that, oh, because your family is such and such, you cannot come to this university. Because you are a bad guy, you cannot come to this university. The key, the reasons of education, be it ancient Chinese or today, is so that we educate that we all be able to improve. We not stamp people or label people, say you are a bad guy. Read the Buddha story. The name of the game, or even read the Bible. The name of the game is how to help people, not label people and put there, say you're bad, okay? You not deserve this. Education is not for that. We need to be clear on this thing, okay? Here, stop saying Chinese didn't know about warm up or measure pose. How many times I refer to this book? This is from Ma Li Tang, 1936 or so. Inside there, it talk about pulse, respiration rate. They start to use scientific measurement. And Dr. Ma Li Tang is known as the pioneer in the Six Healing Sound, Qigong, and internal martial arts. How many times I share this in this channel? Did I say that? And also, this is from Shangji, Dr. Ma Li Tang's student. This book is 2008. It talk about SpO2. Okay, or the oxygen, the blood stuff. So I'm presenting what is with evidence. This is hundreds of years of evidence here to go scientific. Okay, just get it straight. In this channel, when I'm presenting, you better know that I have evidence, solid, black and white, before I say something. Okay? Here, I think Wing Chun was not intended for help, but for killing. Not intent for help, but for killing. I think. How much do you know Wing Chun? We know Wing Chun with this. Tracking in Chinese history and based on different experts in the history, different experts in traditional Chinese martial arts and canon, like the Shaolin canons and everything, and Ermei canons, which is, we know it is trace linked to Wing Chun Xiu Lin Tao Sets 1850. Okay, so let's speak with evidence. Anybody can disagree with me, but let's do it in a scientific way. Show your evidence. Otherwise, this is the same like what, you know, whoever can just frame others or accuse others who win. I'm not into those politics or lineage. This is channel for education technology. So this is what exists in Chinese culture. Hundreds of years. Start from the general Qi Qigong 450 years ago. This book is 100 years. Okay. So we need to speak with them. Okay. Many followers want kungfu as it was, and respect the teacher. This is what kungfu as it is. Okay. So I am not the guy who not follow what kungfu as it is. In fact, this is all the evidence here. And more. Over here too. Okay? Respect teacher. We need to respect teacher like our parents. And I think we all do that. We are royal, obedient students. There's nothing wrong with that, and in fact, that's good. Respect our parents, respect teacher, respect elderly. That is a must as a human. However, we don't make our parents Superman. We don't make our teacher or sifu as the god, like the cult leader. We don't make up all kinds of stories. Just try to make him like God. Okay? Those are improper. Those are just like spreading cult. Respecting parent, respecting teacher, meaning presents the facts and reality. If one not be able to present facts and reality, one is really not respect the teacher. Why? As in the Chinese history for past 5,000 years, have you ever seen one guy who create all kinds of image laundering get out of history? No. You might be able to cheat people for 50 years, 60 years, 100 years. But when people dig the entire thing up, you're going to go into down. The entire thing going down. So, to really respect teacher and parents is to do the proper thing. To present it with evidence. To follow what the teacher is teaching. Instead of, I respect my teacher. Why do you think I respect my teacher? It's because I want to use my teacher to boot myself up. That is not really respecting teacher. In Chinese, that's called 欺师灭祖. That is, you are cheating your teacher. You are making use of your teacher to boot yourself. And then you destroy the teaching of the ancestor. Because this is the teaching of the ancestor. It's not like, I can say this. My teacher teach me this. This is the secret. The minute when one do that, is it true that this is the teaching from the teacher? There's a question mark there. Is this teaching accord to this hundreds of years of data? There's another questions. So it is better to bring out this. According to who, what data, and you see the trend, the common denominator, what it is. Okay? Respecting the teacher is to tell the truth on what is the reality, and not making the teacher like a cult leader or the god of the universe. With new elements and add in, why still call with an old name? So he is saying that why do I still call this Wing Chun 1850s with I add in so many new names, new elements? What element did I add in? what element did I add in? I didn't add in any element at all. I did. I just presenting in today's language, in today's science, so that everybody be able to understand, like my Wing Chun inception, the H model and so forth. It is just presenting what the ancient Chinese do, what the Wing Chun 1850, the content of it in today's language. Otherwise, nobody know what the heck it is. Because it's ancient Chinese. You know that Chinese language had been switched to today's modern Chinese language since 1919, 100 years ago. Okay? So the reality is, you look at this, when people don't have the proper educations, people have no idea what is the Chinese, really the ancient Chinese is talking about, and probably watching too much movie, maybe, because this type of thinking, I know is spread around the movies, okay? So the probability of getting this from the movie is huge. Why don't one study the real history, the real data? Now, do you think that with this kind of movie-like kinds of thinking, you can get away here on? As I say that, I don't know for sure where he get this kind of thinking, but I know this thinking is from movies. You can watch movie, people can see this. In the movie, there's racism against this guy, okay? And all this thing, the ancient way, many followers want kungfu as it was. The kungfu as it was is this way, not the movie way, okay? Do you think can get around from that? Let me share with you. Like in America, we have Patrick who do research in the Bubishi, karate. In Japan and Western, we have this Ichi Watanabe, Mr. Ichi Watanabe, who studied judo and put into the physics equations. And you have Ma Li Tang, Dr. Ma Li Tang, who is applying Western medicines since 1930s. You have this expert, Mr. Sang Ji, who is talking about SpO2 and so forth, or blood oxygen and so forth in the traditional Chinese martial art practice. And recently, you have this Dr. Huang, or Professor Huang in Harvard University and University of Pennsylvania, writing on praying mantis connections with General Qi Ji Guang's writing. And then you have Mr. Nan Huaijing talking about the martial art, the Qi, and so forth. This information is out in public. It's worldwide now. You can see researchers from the West, from America, from Japan, the Chinese, and Dr. Huang is a professor in Harvard. Okay, so he's doing what we all educational do. Okay, we just research thing and present it. And you see that Dr. Ma Li Tang has been in that, and many. So can we get away from all this kind of thing, this kind of thinking? If we're not careful on this thing, the entire Wing Chun can collapse overnight. Okay? Because when this thing built up already, it takes decades to build up. When this thing built up already, and someday somebody just will say, why is all this thing present one thing and the legend is always that way? And that will trigger a what? A domino effect. The entire thing can go down to the tube. So why do you think I wrote all these books? Why do you think I wrote all these books? Besides to let people know what is ancient Chinese do, is to try to prevent, to avoid that meltdown, that domino effect or chain effect meltdown overnight. If that happens, nobody can save it. Everything go. And everybody's grandmaster go. Serious? Because when you have all this thing lined up, what are you going to say? This is expert in martial art, professor in university, and people who using science and so forth. That's why the Wing Chun inception, and the basic art and science, or you get into the science and technology. Because we need to know that this is a serious stuff in culture, in educations. Of course, people who do business don't like it. So let me share with you. It's like what? It's like, you know, the recording, the recorder, the records, the black vinyl records. Have you ever seen any black vinyl records anymore? The sales go up and right away slam down when the cassette tape come out. And then now, have you seen even a cassette tape? Or everybody just USB, or even in the watch, I can put music here. So the entire thing can collapse when the chain effect, the meltdown get in. Nobody can stop it. Just think about it. How long before, how long ago do we still use CD? The disc. Compare with now, music and so forth can be here, map can be here. So I like to share this with you. It's the matter of we need to know what is the reality. And we want to let all the mass, the Wing Chuners, know this. Everybody progress. It's not anti-who. Okay, I say this because I anti that guy. Or I'm against this lineage. That's watching too much kungfu movie. Or today I'm against that lineage. Or this style against the Shaolin, against the Wudang style. Okay, the white brow Taoist. Revenge. And then tomorrow is this lineage versus the other lineage. And then that's not good enough to provoke people, then as many is like, against the Japanese. And then if that's not enough, against the American. Watch out those kung fu movie. What we want to do is like Mother Teresa said when the young people asked her to join the march. She said this. If you can read in the web, right? This is very famous Mother Teresa. If it is march for peace, I will join. But it is a march for anti-something. Don't count on me. Me the same. If it is for everybody's education, for everybody's improvement, count me. if it is for this guy, anti that guy, I want to silence you because of this, because of this. This is the world you can never silence anybody anymore. Okay? That is the historic evidence. With this technology, you cannot silence people anymore. Well, think about it. Does the Chinese have this type of technology? No, this is made in America, right? So what's wrong is for the Chinese learn the American technology and the American learn the Chinese technology. Nothing wrong with that. It's supposed to be because we are human. Let's not get into those superiority complex. So, as what Mother Teresa said and Buddha said, Mother Teresa said, if there's a march for peace, I can join that. Like Buddha said, everybody is living being. Education is so that to help we all become better. Am I perfect? Of course I'm not. I have many screw up things. And I am up for corrections. Okay? So education has to be open like that. This is not some kinds of code or anything. And again, you know, I don't want to blame on those people who talk this way. But let's not make movie as reality and reality as some kinds of different stuff, which is we need to attack and quiet down or silence up. Okay. Movie is movie, stay there and entertainment. Reality is reality, where we live every day and it influences everybody, many people, millions of people. So this is to share with you today.